for this?
I am Roland Johns. I am Sim Racing.
I'm Wes Fuller, driver of number 35, Stand Up to Cancer Ford. I am Sim Racing.
Hi, I'm Cameron Peterson. I am Sim Racing.
What's going on? It's Rob Biotti from iRacing, driver number 44 Toyota Camry, and I am Sim Racing.
Hello, I am Christopher Hamilton, and I am Sim Racing.
Hi, I'm Eric Andrews. I am Sim Racing.
We are Sim Racing.
Well, I want to welcome everybody here to round number 2 of the iRacing Short Course Series. We have moved from the Midwest back to the West Coast. Well, a desert near the West Coast, out in Chandler, Arizona. This is outside of Phoenix, the Wild Horse Pass, as we get ready to run. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Arnold. I'm joined alongside Randall Alvarez for the race call tonight. I want to thank our host, of course, Connor Berry and Bronson Cheramani. And, of course, we can't do this without our great sponsors, company like CBR Performance, AIM Data Systems, Sparco, Signature Propellers. It's not clean.
It's super clean.
K&N Filters, Lawrence Equipment, and, of course, to light our world up, Rigid Industries. Randall, an incredible round number 1 as we get ready to move here from the Midwest. A total different track, a land rush, a mile and a half to the short course of Chandler, Arizona's Wild Horse Pass. And I'll tell you, it could be another story, but we saw a whole different podium in round number 1. Of course, taking top honors, Mason Prater.
Yeah, I actually have a quick highlight for that, so we'll go ahead and run that, and then we'll get back to the conversation about what's going to happen tonight.
All right. And what a race that was.
Yeah, that was a pretty big mix-up because, you know, we're looking at last season. We had a pretty dominating run by Luke Knupp and Ethan Ebert on almost every race. And then off the bat, both Luke and Ethan had a pretty well, Luke had I'd say a poor run, and Ethan had a decent run. But to see both Mason Prater, Holden Heitritter, and Darren Hardesty pull away with a pretty good finish, that's, you know, a little bit of a change of events for these guys. So we'll see if they can keep up the pace as they come into Wild Horse Pass and, you know, step into the realm of Luke Knupp and Ethan Ebert.
Well, definitely they have been so dominant out here running 1 and 2. And these guys were battling for the championship. Of course, were tied at one point. And unfortunately, you know, he didn't have the best run of Ebert. But I'll tell you, Luke Knupp has always dominated this track. Now, is it the fact that people have gotten faster? Or maybe some of the guys spent a little more time practicing at Crandon?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Crandon was fresh, or pretty fresh when it came out for that race. I think everyone had about maybe 2 weeks under its belt. But now that we're over, you know, back to a different track, I think maybe these guys were just able to kind of work something out and maybe find a faster line. And let's see if that pays off for them now.
And this year also very different. We have a fixed setup.
That is true. Yeah, so this is going to change it up just a tad bit for everyone out there. I know we had open setups for the last season, and I think maybe just equalize the field a little bit. It's also tough on some of the drivers that are a little bit younger and don't know too much about setting up the cars. It definitely,
Yep.
It's an unfair advantage to some of the people that maybe have more free time and can really sit down and tune.
Yeah, definitely. And watched a little practice going on right now, and it looks like the qualifying actually. Luke Knupp right up there on top again. But look at Mason Prater. A lot of momentum coming off of Crandon, as well as Holden Heitritter.
Yeah, and honestly, when we start getting into the actual race, it's one thing to throw down a qualifying lap and another to, be a lead lap in the sense of starting. But once you're side by side with someone, that changes everything. You may be fast on a qualifying lap, but can you, defend Mason Prater from trying to get around you? Because, these guys can throw some elbows. They can use their nose to give someone a little bit of push, push them through the corner a little bit, make them overshoot, and set up for that pass. So that's all, within the rules of driving and kind of, looking for that position.
Yeah, but do you want to be known as that driver that pushed another driver out of position there?
No,
Turn.
not entirely, but sometimes I won't lie. Sometimes there's times where the guy's throwing great blocks on you, and you're on the last couple laps.
Yep.
It pops in your head.
I mean, sometimes the white flag comes out, the gloves come off.
That's very true. I definitely would encourage everyone to race as clean as possible through the main event. But when those last 3 laps come out, it's okay to get a little bumpy, just because you're trying to get up there. You got to go for it.
Yep, definitely. And looking at some of the names that are popping up there. Looks like I see Matag's back. I see Christopher Polvardi too.
I believe you're correct. Let me just double check on that.
Cody Graham.
Yep. Polvardi. Yep.
Oliver Golding. Burns. Let's see. Reese Newer. Brian Osborne. Hillfiker.
Yeah.
New driver.
That's the one I was talking about. I think that's a new driver out there. Same thing with Andrew. I believe it's Burchard, the number 22. I don't think I've seen him race with us today, or race with us recently. So definitely looks like.
Then we got a Butler.
Yep. Was noticing that too. And then Jake Hill. I don't think we had him last race either.
Jake Hill.
Yeah, racing in the 170.
Nice.
So definitely
Oliver Golding, Sean Hack, some usual names. Good to see Oliver back. All right, Mikey Lawrence. Dougie Matag, yeah, Bouchard. Nice. Ashton Perfect, one of our regulars. Chade Mender. George Lamosas. Right now it's still up. Luke Knupp, Mason Prater, and Holden Heitritter. The question is, where's Hot Sauce?
I just saw a message from Darren. Let's see. He said he shot me a message. Let's see, 6:57. So I'm assuming he's supposed to be there. Maybe he's got something going on. It's a bummer.
Yeah, especially after getting on the podium for the first round.
Yeah.
Seen Chase Cars there, Ethan Groom. See Keaton Swain. See Cooper Lampert. All right. Of course, some of these drivers just coming on and getting their times on. Trying to qualify here. Luke Knupp, Mason Prater, and Holden Heitritter.
Well, before we get into the invocation, Dave, let's just do a quick shout out to our broadcast sponsors. That's actually going to be Critical Hit Bass Lures and also Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. So looks like we got 20 seconds to go, and we'll have our favorite chaplain, Chappie, take it away.
Just was over to his house the other day, and we'll get him to record something new. But I'll tell you, listen to this man. He's got the direct line to the man upstairs. So, folks, time for invocation. Time to bow the heads. It's Steve Hansen, a.k.a. Chappie, with your invocation.
Hello, racers. This is Steve Hansen, chaplain with Racers for Christ. Just wanted to take a time to pray with you before your race. So please bow with me as we pray. Father, I know it may seem silly to pray before a race such as this, but it's a good reminder to us that regardless if we're putting our lives on the line or we're just having a good time, you want to be in constant communication with us. In that spirit we pray today. And Father, I just ask that you would keep us, our families, our teammates, and our competitors safe during this time, that we would remain healthy while this virus spreads, that we would find security in times of economic uncertainty, and that our community would remain tight and grounded, even though we find ourselves in political turmoil in the community that surrounds us. So, Father, in all this, I just ask that we would find the health and security and the hope in our future, even though things seem uncertain at this time. So in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
And once again, thank you, Chappie, for doing that. Beautiful invocation. And ladies and gentlemen, 20 seconds before we are going to go ahead and run the stars and bars for the national anthem. So we'll just go ahead and wait for these guys to finish up, and we'll jump over to Bronson Cheramati with the American flag paint scheme and follow them around the track as we play the national anthem. All right, just waiting on Bronson. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Once again, thank you, Bronson Cheramani, for running those stars and bars out there across the track for us. All right, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're about halfway through qualifying. Looks like Zap Drapkin throwing some donuts out there, and looks like a couple of the drivers are doing the same because you can see. Oh, and he rolls it. But let's talk about qualifying times. Zach Drapkin with a 35.705.
Do you think that's why he was rolling it and showing off like a happy puppy in the Blake bin?
Yeah, and you know what? He's been bragging about his speeds to me on the side. He's been shooting me messages saying, "Hey, I just took fastest in the world for Crandon." And he's all, Connor Berry's like right behind me by .002. He's all, but I'm the fastest right now. So him, Connor, Luke, I think Ethan, they've been gunning to be like the world's fastest truck drivers on iRacing, and those guys are insane. I don't know how they do it because some insane times they throw down.
Well, I know that Bryce Menzies owns the four-wheel drive record in real life there. Brian Deegan owns the two-wheel drive, and drawing a blank on who did Pro Light. Darn it.
You know, it'd be fun to see these kids, to get them in like a Pro 4 and maybe give them a week of practice and see if they can throw down just as fast of a time.
I think they'd be pretty darn good at it. These kids, I mean, I've watched the majority of them grow up in real life and racing, so
I think they could.
I think it would translate really well.
Especially the muscle memory, a lot, since you're saying a lot of them grow up in off-road racing and they deal with
Yep.
carts and stuff like that, so that being able to adjust to the track and how the track ruts up and stuff like that, it's secondhand to them. And then all that needs to happen is really just get the muscle memory for the main track and where to turn, and then from there just kind of take it as it comes, I would assume.
Yeah, and one of the things too with these mod carts that they drive, it's like power to weight ratio of a Pro 2. So if they could do some sick maneuvers in a mod cart, they could drive a Pro 2 pretty good. You give them something pushing and pulling in a Pro 4, man, they'd be like on a string around the track.
I can imagine.
Well, it looks like we're finishing up qualifying here.
That's correct. Everyone is... Oh, there we go. Looks like we're going to go ahead and advance the session. Perfect.
Gary Lane just popped onto the track. Looks like they dropped him out of the helicopter.
That he knows how to ride on the track and how to arrive on the track with style. I
have never seen it drop out of the sky.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Hey man, he brings in he pays the big bucks to arrive I can't put it to words.
It's what we call easy original OG baller.
Yeah, they just drop him, like you said, off a helicopter. Parachute opens, lands down like just some sort of Mission Impossible style, and then rolls right out.
So we've already pulled our top drivers into the main event. Now it's time for everybody to race their way into the main event.
Yep.
With our first heat race here.
So it looks like we have Randy Merritt, Sean Heck, Ricky Johnson, Mikey Lawrence, Ashton Perfect, Chaden Zane Minder, Chase Carr, Ezra Eberts, Kyle Cooper, Daniel Rampart, Jake Hill are going to be racing for the first heat tonight.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a good one here. Ashton Perfect, yep. Minder, Chase, yep. Mikey Lawrence, Ezra Eberts, yep. Cooper, Rampart, to Jake Hill. And is that Braden Chermati? Because Bronson obviously...
Bronson's sitting out. So when they run the American flag, they still have to be in session to do that. So he has to sit out during the heats so that he doesn't take up a driving spot.
Oh.
Just little things that you can't really. You have to work with the software you're given. So just little things in iRacing that you can't really get around.
You're only as good as the machine the mechanic gives you, too.
Exactly. That's the way it is.
Yep.
And these guys are going to have to deal with that right now. All of them having carbon copies. The only thing that they get to adjust is brake bias and a couple other settings that they have. Either if they have button boxes or if they have on their wheels, they'll be able to adjust those by hand. But other than that,
tire pressure?
Tire pressure, yeah, if you pit, you can do that. So they could probably change tire pressure during or in between heats and qualifying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they can do that, definitely. I think
or
it's
set it up beforehand.
Yeah, I think it's brake bias, tire pressure, and fuel are the things that are allowed to change from the main setup.
So the fixed setup, basically fixed gear ratio, fixed on the suspension.
Yep.
Gearing, obviously.
Yeah,
Okay.
fixed gearing, fixed suspension, body roll, if they have attached or detached roll bar, just all the hard stuff.
Looking at a new sponsor there on the side of a truck. Seeing Motul. That's pretty cool. Nice variety. All right, we see him pacing around here. We should see the pace truck pull off the track.
That's correct.
Lights are out. Lights are out. He's off. Seemed like a little. There we go. They're getting caught back up.
Yep.
Let's see. I never usually see him that spaced out.
Right.
These guys are like riding on nose to tail.
Oh. I think that was Ashton Perfect riding up on someone right there.
You know, somebody riding the wall and the wheels and the two wheels and the one wheel.
Yeah, it looks like Jake Hill getting turned around there.
I saw that old Flannery truck there flying through the air.
Yeah, that's going to be Kyle
cool
Cooper.
to see. Yep. Yeah, that looked like that Minder went upside down, I believe.
Yeah. So far, pretty good heat in the start. Looks like Randy Merritt with a great launch. Sean Heck just trying to run him down. Ricky Johnson able to fight his way up to the front. And then Mikey Lawrence just trying to stay. he's stuck in the battle, but he's trying to get out of there right now.
Definitely some good qualifying, pitching it sideways, literally backing these things in. Chase Carr getting a little unsettled, able to put it back down. But it looks like Merritt, Heck, and Johnson pretty much separating from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, they've been getting pretty lucky. It looks like Mikey Lawrence got caught up with a couple of the other guys, and so he's had to brake a couple times just to kind of let that pack straighten out.
Two young guns, Ezra Eberts and, of course, Chase Carr, battling back there for fourth. You know, in reality, what they've done is they've actually changed this track around and run it backwards.
They have, and I watched that. That was actually pretty fun.
Very cool. I think the dirt needs to be worked a little bit more. Heard it kind of blue grooved out a little bit, but you know, when they start working that dirt and they start racing more in it in the seasons next year, it's going to be awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, comp caution out. Everyone's going to go ahead and pack up and get ready for the restart. Randy Merritt in first, second place is going to be Sean Heck. Third, Ricky Johnson. Fourth, Chase Carr. Fifth, Mikey Lawrence for our top five.
So it's time to re-rack and restack.
Yep, and they're going to be restarting right before the jump on that front straight, so they're going to hit that tabletop pretty hard. All right, here we go.
Green flag is out. And we are green, 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 baby.
Ooh. Already have a driver pitching it sideways there.
And it looks like Merritt to the inside, Heck on the outside. Drives up a little bit on his rear bumper.
Looks like
Merritt slides it around. Man, nice.
Yeah, Sean Heck's really looking for that inside line from Merritt, and Merritt keeps riding kind of mid to low, not really giving him too much room to try and set up for a pass.
Keep an eye on Johnson, Carr, and Lawrence, though.
Yeah, I know.
We're back there stalking.
I've been watching Lawrence. He's been super smooth out there, which usually means he's just trying to be patient and wait for the the moment to pounce. Johnson, I think he's going to take advantage of that.
Saw Johnson was looking around for a little bit of a edge there, not able to take it. But look at this chase car, side by side. Johnson has the inside line though coming out. It's nice to watch this a little bit clean up. A little bit of neck cutting there out of Sean Heck. Not something I've seen him do before. Now you see me, now you don't. Call him the Magic Man.
There you go.
His other identity, Mike Honcho.
Randy Merritt doing a great job staying up ahead. Ricky Johnson.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Look at him slide it out of this turn. Right up. Perfect line there.
Looks like Carr just a little too offset on that jump.
Well, the white flag's out. If you're going to do something, you better do it now. Merritt, Heck, Johnson, Chase Carr, Mikey Lawrence.
And it looks like Heck's making a move on Randy Merritt right now. He had it, and then he lost it. He tucked in behind him. He's going to go ahead and throw a slider.
Bumper down.
Yeah.
And this one is definitely going to go to Randy Merritt.
And Sean Heck.
Sean Heck. Yep.
There we go.
Ricky
Top
Johnson.
2.
So we're taking the top 2 out?
Yeah. Because last time we saw third place get rolled back into the LCQ, remember?
Yep, that's right.
So we'll be taking the top 2. We have 3.
But just when you think, they might change the rules on you.
They might. But we're going to go with what happened last time, so. Odds are it hasn't changed too much. But what a good run. Sean Heck.
Oh, yeah.
With a nice battle, trying to catch up to Randy Merritt there. Randy, keeping his cool and staying on the preferred line. That's what you want to see. All right, so heat number 2, we have Brian Osborne, then Colton Burns, Reese Newer, Keaton Swain, George Lamosos, Spencer Hillfliker, Drake Mittag, and then Ethan Groom, Caden Danbury. It looks like we're waiting on Andrew Burchard, and Christopher
Paul Vorty.
Paul Vorty, thank you.
Vorty.
Practice makes
perfect. Yeah, he's one of the young guns out there in the pro light category that's kicking some butt, and I know him and his Honda Talent teammate were down in San Felipe racing the Baja 500. Fortunately, Christopher broke down. I think Elliott was able to finish. Not that I ever watched any of the racing.
I never knew you kept up with that stuff, Dave.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get in touch with the racing. It's a lot of fun, and especially when I get to re-see the names when I do iRacing short course, I get a blast out of it. I'm like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah. Most definitely. Always fun.
All right, it looks like we're waiting on one more driver. That's going to be Blake Butler. If he doesn't show up in time, we're going to be going and starting without him.
Might become flying out of the pits, huh? Ethan Groom.
Looks like I think Blake is not able to connect. He just posted something in the YouTube chat.
Somebody's blinking in and out.
Yeah, it looks like Blake's wheel is not working for him. That's a bummer, Blake. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, you hate to hear this with something silly.
Yeah. Hardware failures, man. They're the worst. It's one thing to, have life hit you, but when it's hardware stuff, it's just like, ah. And then just like in esports, that happens in, real racing too. Your hardware might go bad on you.
Some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug.
That is correct. All right, looks like we are getting ready to go green.
Somebody just flew out. There we go. So Mr. Lane's going to lead them around.
Surprised it's not a Toyota Tundra.
I only see a Toyota.
I only see Toyota.
Just
Yeah, that's one thing iRacing needs to do for the short course is make it a Toyota that's for the pace truck.
sure some kind of licensing deal.
I'm pretty sure.
Because we pretty much know whose front end that is.
Toyota would be happy though. I think.
Yes. Considering they are on all over the track.
All right, here we go.
Osborne, Burns, Newer, Swain, Lamosis, Hilfiker, Matag, Groom, Danbury, Bouchard, and Volvordi.
Look at that, 3 wide going down the straight, lining it back up. Looks like Burns with a good run on the outside. Osborne
Nice
not
little
letting him
move
get
there.
away. Look at that.
Yeah, Osborne literally attached to the right rear of that machine.
Those triplets are
Well,
rough on those guys. Did you see that? Pitch
Yeah,
sideways.
I definitely. Oh man, some guys. I'll tell you, with this fixed setup, really making a difference here.
Yeah, some of these guys are having a hard time. It looks like I don't know who they are. Let me see if we can catch them on the run. I want to say that's Mitag and someone else. They're just locked into each other. Yeah, Keaton Swain and Drake. They are locking doors.
Oh, it's Drake Matag. Okay,
Yeah.
Drake, the younger brother, and he races karts. It's very cool. Younger brother of Doug Matag.
Reese Newer looking to take away that second place from Brian Osborne there.
So Burns, Osborne, and Reese Newer, the top 3, followed by George Lamosis, Christopher Polvardi, Ethan Groom, Dan Barry. Christopher really moving up through the pack, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he is. I think he's getting himself ready for that restart.
Osborne in the Black Rhino machine. Polvardi
And there we go.
right back there. Yeah, 5 laps to go. That means the comp caution's out. Time to re-wrap, restack.
All right, so I'm gonna make a little bit of a call here. I think we might see Chris move himself up there to second. I think he's got the speed. We saw him go from it was 10th or 11th all the way up to 5th.
Yep.
So I definitely think he's got the speed behind him to move himself up there. But I'm gonna have to see what happens on the restart.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you can see the Ford on the side of that machine. General Tire, I know one of his great sponsors there also. And the Palms River Resort, awesome place.
Ooh, looks like we had a mix-up in the back before that restart. That is
I
not
saw
gonna be
that.
good.
Not sure what happened there, but Colton Burns, Osborne, Newer,
Oof.
Matag. Oh, getting a little sideways there. I think you're right with the body roll and all that. It's a little bit different than some of these drivers have probably been dealing with.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you on that. I think that was Lamosos that went sideways. Yeah, it looks like
You
it.
really got to time. Yeah, you got to really time these jumps right.
All right,
Drake Matag and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Colton Burns really running away with it right now. You know, he had a hard time trying to get away from Osborne that first, that first caution, and then look at that. That was already throwing it in backwards, trying to really send it in there.
And really trying to back that thing in. Look at him go around the outside. It's preferred line there. Very fast. Osborne very fast too. Osborne trying to fight with now Reese Newer. Newer on the outside. Newer's going to get that second position.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
already trying to fight. Oh my goodness.
beautiful run by Reese right there, riding the outside line, which is, if you can hit it right, it is fast across that fishbowl.
2 laps to go. Just a couple turns. The white flag will come out. Barnes, Newer, Osborne,
Osborne not willing to
Vardy.
give up that position without a fight.
Ooh, nice move by Osborne. See him bounce off sideways?
Yep.
Yeah, it was really kept his speed up.
Set himself up for the run.
White flag's out.
This is it.
Top two definitely going to the main event. On board with Brian Osborne, the Black Rhino. See that Sparko machine there of Reese Newer. Oh, a little punt there. Got a little sideways. Osborne coming around.
Reese hot on his tail. Can he beat him around the corner, though? Oh, man.
I really would love to see that again.
You know what? Let's go ahead and get that on a replay.
Would that be a critical hit?
It will be a critical hit best lures caution report, but it will be a quick replay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Up across the finish line. Oh, no. Reset the session.
Farther.
I can't. I was trying to snag it before I reset the session. When it goes to grid another heat, it wipes the slate on me.
All right, well.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to snag it before the session went up to the next one.
We'll let race control make that decision. Not that we were going to make a decision at all. I just wanted to see it.
I did too. That was neck and neck.
Did Reese get out of shape a little bit first and cause Brian to hit him there?
I don't know.
Looked like Brian didn't rotate in time and get him a little bit. Not saying either one is bad.
I think it's a case of you're in front of me and I want to be fast.
And where did I tell you? When the white flag comes out, the gloves come off.
That's honestly the hardest part about just racing in general is you want to be fast, you want to keep up with the person in front of you, but sometimes that you forget about your breaking points when you're trying to be fast out there, and you'll slip up mentally. Whether or not it's on purpose, definitely happens out there.
Yeah, you got to really get in racing. You got to keep your head about yourself. You can't lose your temper. You can't drive angry.
Yep.
Never does good. The old adage, slower is faster, is so true. Whether it's in this, in the simulator, or in real life, or in a race car.
Yeah, it's in any sport.
Act rashly.
Yeah.
Rash reactions.
Yep. It's crazy how that translates over because a lot of the time you assume that just going with your gut instinct of being aggressive and pushing as much as possible. It gets you far, but the guy that usually wins the race is the person that has their head about them the whole time.
Yeah, well, I think we're already into one of our LCQ.
That is correct.
Yeah, seeing Johnson, Newer, Carr, Groom, Perfect, Balvardi.
Yeah, so it looks like
Everts.
Looks like we skipped Heat 3 and we're going straight to the LCQ.
Yeah, Danbury, Rambert. There we go. Hillfiker, Minder, Bouchard, Cheramani, and Butler.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to have to get a phonetical spelling from Hillfiker.
We definitely are. I'm pretty sure it's probably Eastern European, not Eastern European. Oh yeah, it would be Eastern European. German
or Scandinavian.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Hellfiker. I think the I. Look at
All right,
that.
out of turn. Oh man, sideways coming off. Great shot. And it's Johnson, Newer, Carr. Carr looking for that low line, driving down deep. Ooh, slid up a little higher than I thought he'd stay, but Johnson with a great line across the stripe.
Yeah, Reese Newer trying to do everything in the bag of tricks to catch up to him right now, and I think Ricky is just on a good run.
Awesome action as they come off the back section into turn number 2. The right-hander, turn 3. On board with Chase Carr. Yep.
Look at that, Reese Newer looking to the inside. He's catching up to him every lap. He's shaving off a couple hundredths of a second.
Now, did I see a face on a mud flap on a car in front of us?
Let's see if they jump. I can tell. I can't really see it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm just seeing things. Look at Carr. Look at this. Nice line. Car 1 fabrication there on the hood. Newer getting a little out of shape, able to recover. The car now is going to bang him. You know, that's what happens. You get out of shape, you lose a second or two.
Final
Car
lap.
gets out of shape. Yep. White flag's out. Top 2 out of this.
I believe so.
Man, this is a rough one.
Yeah, these guys are really trying to work hard to get out there.
Man, there is so much talent out there in all these, races we've had. It's like I'm kind of shocked at some of the names I'm going to see not in the main event.
Yeah, I think that's like the crazy part is, usually even with Lucas Oil, you have these guys out here. Their field size is usually like 10 to 15 cars, and with having a field size of 30 plus cars, some guys aren't going to make it into the main, and that's.
Well, I was going to say back in the day, as the white flag finishing here, Johnson's going to take the win on this one. Newer. So I'm going to go car just outside the bubble. But as I get back to my thought there, we did have multiple heat races and lots of pro buggies, pro lights, tons of pro 2s, tons of pro 4s. Love to see it right back that way, though, again.
Oh, dude, that'd be amazing.
The buggy count has really gone up. Mod carts never disappoint.
Yeah, mod carts are always fun to watch.
Yeah.
That, and then I really enjoy watching the UTVs.
Watching what?
The UTVs. I think it's the UTVs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
Production 1000 class is huge.
Yeah.
Turbo class has grown pretty good. It's great to see that. Love to see Yamaha come out with a factory turbo to get them racing. It's pretty much the Polaris and Can-Am show. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just like to see more manufacturers.
Oh, definitely. The more manufacturers, the more people are, we can get funding behind it, and the more cars you can get out there.
Well, I think we're running a little ahead of schedule.
I think so too.
We're running this like they were running it in Chandler weekend before last. Or, yeah.
You trying to figure out which weekend it was?
I'm sorry, but all weekends just blend together for me.
No, man, I feel you. Almost every day for me is race day, so I forget sometimes too. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that race this day, and then it's this race. Okay, that was 2 weeks ago. Are you sure it was 2 weeks ago? It wasn't a month ago, because it felt like a month.
Okay, well, there's a difference is you don't have to leave your zip code or time zone.
I think that's the worst part. I don't have any landmarks.
Man,
It's
being
like
on the road in
cabin fever.
airplanes. Yeah. Well, I definitely don't have that. Yeah, if I'm not jet skiing or riding in the desert and something when it's cooler, I'm at a race in another town, in another place, another dimension. And not the COVID dimension we're living in.
I was about to do the Twilight Zone intro. In another dimension and another place, he finds himself watching a race.
With COVID on the uprise.
Seriously, talk about Twilight.
It does feel like a bad Twilight Zone episode.
It does. I still my two favorite Twilight episodes are the Twilight Zones. Is the one where the lady doesn't thinks the milkman is Death and doesn't let him into the house because Death is going to claim her. And that one's really weird. And then it's the guy that it's the apocalypse, and the guy survives, and he's got the library. And he's like, "Oh, there's time to read," and then he breaks his glasses.
Yeah.
All right, so
We're warming up here.
yeah, 2
Luke
minutes
Knapp,
to go.
Prater and Eberts, Ethan. Let's see, Cooper, Lamosis, Butler, Rampart. Oh, Boulevardy made it.
Possible.
Danbury?
Let's wait for the warm up to clear. So what happens?
Yeah,
is
they must have taken more drivers.
when the warm up clears, it'll actually clear out the field, so some guys get a chance to
okay.
actually race. even though they didn't make
Well,
it.
I see Brody Graham there. He made it in early, right?
Yeah, it'll give the whole field and then it'll clear it out.
Copy that. I
So
see him brushing them off now. There's some drivers that didn't qualify. Surprised that Perfect and also Lawrence.
Yep, Perfect had a bad race. We watched him on that first heat. He was in the back of the pack, kind of just muscling it around with everyone else out there. He just had a bad run. People kept getting into him and just couldn't keep it, too straight out there. It's a bummer.
Ooh. Boy, it looks really wet right now, the way these things are driving. It's like they just water the track.
Yeah, iRacing's track state changes so drastically with these trucks sometimes when it shows that it's rubbered in. So that's one thing I think they're probably working on, is also working on a little more accurate track state, because it definitely looks like someone just hosed it down.
Oh, yeah. Went from, Coco to Coco Van.
There we go.
Meaning like a soup.
The warm-up is over. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the feature race and see who's going to be out there.
You're seeing Watson there. He's driving that Honda Talonback machine. And Osborne in the Black Rhino, Keaton Swain, Chase Carr.
There we go.
There we go. All right, we're gridding. Here we go.
Let's run through the drivers out in the field. While they're loading up, let's start off with... Oh, wow. Look at that. Our, I forgot, they had a four position invert. So Braden Cheramani gets the pole.
Nice.
Way to go. And, Cheramani's been pretty fast. So with him getting the pole, that's going to be good.
Definitely. He's got RTL, Super Clean, AM Ortega, CBR.
Yep, and
92
then
designs.
Looks like he's got his teammate on his side. That's going to be Mason Prater, the number 50. Bill Stein, Lucas Oil, and Elite Esports.
Another 92 designs wrap.
Yep.
And that would be the one and only number one, Luke Knupp. Ultra Motorsports. Yep. Now he's got Velocity Esports.
Yeah, separate team there.
Yeah.
So I know a couple of the teams actually split up after the second season. So they split into two. There's Elite Esports and Velocity. It's a little bit of competition between some of the racers out there.
And, yeah, there's Zach Drapkin and Signature Propellers, Fabtech, CBR, Redline Oil, and he's on the Elite Esports.
That's correct. Oh, look.
Super Clean and Weidel.
And Weidel. I was going to throw it out there, see if I can make you laugh again.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was.
Beat me to the punch, man.
It's Weddle.
I know.
As you call it.
Oh,
Ethan
okay.
Ebert.
Yeah, Ethan.
There we go.
Yep. Ultra Motorsports, Velocity Esports, Lawrence Equipment, Lucas Oil, Diamondback Materials, running the number 57. Also got Rigid on the side. Then we have the number 512. That's going to be Holden Heitritter with AIM, JB, Justice Brothers. Looks like a PRP, Signature Propellers, Sparco, Elite Esports, and 92 designs on the hood.
And PRP suspension seats. Got some nice ones. And look at this K&N, Super Clean, Rigid, Brody Graham in the 66, Sparco, and AIM.
Yep.
And he's got Trump 2020, baby. Go, Brody.
And it looks like we got Oliver Golding in the 770. Looks like OG Racing, AP Media, K&N, Super Clean. Looks like Assault. I don't know what that is. I can't read the bottom of the text. It looks like there's something else there. Looks like Raceline Wheels. Rugged Radios.
It's blending.
It does blend in. It's hard to tell. All right. And then for the next driver.
That would be Elliott Watson on a Honda Racing, General Tire, KMC Wheels, Talon. Honda Talon UTV, of course.
Yep. And to his outside, who is blinking, I'm not going to lock onto him because it's going to mess up my side. It's going to be the number 25, Corbin Leverton. Good to see him out there. Polaris Razor on the side.
Now you don't see him out there. Now you see him.
He's the magic.
Now you don't.
And then it looks like we have the 618 of Randy Merritt, who had a good run in those heats, running the Mongo Racing. Check it out. Motul, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's very cool. New sponsor on the side.
Good to see that.
Yep. Then, on the other side of him,
another heat finisher. It's going to be Colton Burns in the 307.
He's got the Midwest Off-Road Racing more on the side.
Looks like Wood Orchards, the Apple Store, and Sunset Service in Bailey's Harbor.
Nice.
Sean Heck, the 619.
What the heck?
He does such great paint schemes for his
I know.
car. I love it.
I am just like, man, that is freaking awesome.
Right? Looks like he's racing with Velocity Esports. He's got all the rigid Sparco, Lawrence, signature propellers. He's got his Sean Heck stickers on the side. Super clean. CBR. And then to his outside, Brian Osborne in the Black Rhino Performance machine out there, running in the number 54. Looks like Leighton Kramer Racing School on those bumpers. Or, sorry, fenders. And
Ricky Johnson.
Yep.
The drinking team.
I
opposite there. And, of course, the drinking team, it is reversed.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, I think they got that backwards.
No, if you drink enough, it will turn itself around.
It doesn't work like that. You have to do the selfie camera to change it back so you can see what it is. That's probably why they do it.
If you look at it in the mirror.
There you go. And then the number 79 of Reese Newer. You made it in from the LCQ. Way to go.
Yep. Nice job.
Running on a Sparco Tensor tire. Method Racing wheels. So there you go. He sees himself on the stream.
Yeah. There you guys got the, what is it, the Monster Hydro?
Yep. Looks like he's racing with
eSports.
Yep. Man,
very awesome.
All these guys split down the middle. Pick your,
and
pick your side.
Chase Car in the Car One Fabrication. Of course, got the series sponsors on there: K&N, Sparco, CBR, Rigid, Lawrence Equipment.
Yep. And then to his outside, number 210, Keaton Swain, running in the Appliance Parts Company. Looks like Keaton Swain Racing on the hood there too. Awesome. And that is the field for tonight. That is a lot. We're looking at 18 drivers out there.
Definitely a full field here. Tight course. A short course. It's one thing that's really nice. But everything you can see right from the grandstands. That's the difference, like going to the Midwest, going to Crandon, you sit in one section, you're not going to see the whole track.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places you don't see. So it's really cool when you can see the whole of the action. It's more like a stadium, more like the Mickey Thompson style.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't they used to do these in kind of like motocross stadium style, where you actually got to sit on the outside?
Oh, God. I forgot how young you are.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I want it to go back to that because that was super fun. I remember growing up going to some motocross races and sitting in the Angel Stadium, and just that's a huge, like, just life-changing experience being able to sit there and watching
them at the LA Coliseum, going up and around the turnstile, then jumping off. Now, the difference between those trucks and these trucks, suspension. That was, all the suspension was tucked up, and it was like a dropout suspension.
Okay.
So it was, way different than what these are. These are set up, and the ride height set and all that. Well, that was all tucked up. So when you jumped, it all dropped out. Then when you landed, it absorbed.
That's
kind
cool.
of tucked back up underneath. Yeah, it was very cool. Woo.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit excited. He almost dented Gary Lane's truck.
That you cannot do. You dent his truck, you're off the track.
Yeah.
I will personally walk out there and take you off the track.
Oh, God.
All right. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like Ewell being served by Zap Drapkin there.
So the protest didn't work?
No, it did not. He needs to...
Well,
I was going to make a bad joke. I'm not going to do that. Gotta have a doctor's note.
you're right, it wasn't back good.
Yeah, it was. I was going to make a different one, but it's fine. Let's watch some racing.
All right, well, here we go. They come around. Green flag is up. And green, green, green. Chermani, Prater, Knupp.
Look at that. 3 wide down the straight, door to door.
And this is where it's going to separate them all right here as they jam together. 1 driver, 2 drivers up. And it looks like that roller back over the rubber side. Some net kidding going on. Chermani. It's got a whole lot of Mason Prater.
Oh. Runned up to the outside. Ouch.
And that's going to put him back to 5th. So it's Prater out front now. Eiritter, Knupp.
And Ethan Ebert right in tow.
Yep, there's Ebert right behind him. There's Braden Chermani.
The deadly duo for both Wild West Wild West and Wild Horse. But look at that, Braden Chermani fighting his way back up, not letting Ethan get away from him.
Oh yeah, and it's the usual though. Knupp up, back towards the front. But look at Mason Prater. He's really turned it on.
Yeah, he's got that speed behind him.
Eiritter also. Now the question is this round before it started, we talked about, the podium we saw with, of course, Prater, Heidritter, and Hardesty. What are we seeing? Prater, Heidritter, 1-2 again. We are missing Hot Sauce, a.k.a. Hotspot.
But look at behind them. Luke Knupp and Ethan Ebert, like I said, 2 of our last season's finishers. Oh, getting a bump
Ethan
from
getting
his
pushed
teammate.
wide. Oh, no. He's able to, you just hear those wheels spinning.
Yeah. You
Just
got
not hooked up. He was in the fluff. Braden crossed around, trying to make a move on Knupp.
He's going to go for the inside.
It looks like if you stay low, it looks like it's starting to, dry out. Good traction there. But I'll tell you, Braden really made it look good going around that middle section. Or I should say, I'll take it back. Braden was low, Knupp was high. And that middle section worked for Knupp great.
Yeah, it really did. I think Braden, he's got a good run on Knupp right now. He just needs to kind of find the right section to pass Knupp and maybe watch him for another 2 laps, see where Knupp's making some mistakes, and then try and capitalize on it. It's tough though, because Luke's on point with this track. It's been his wheelhouse for a while. Same thing with Ethan. So finding the mistakes in their driving style is really going to be hard for them to kind of just wear it out, or to kind of find it, to point it out. It's actually the word I was looking for.
I got you, exactly. That's a good point there. Sean Heck and Merritt. Oh my goodness, is right. Greg Chermani goes up on his lid, slides into the K-rail.
And there we go. That's going to put Ethan back into 4th. One downside to trying to push it and stay behind someone is sometimes, like we were saying before, you lose your mind about your race lines and you're going to start making mistakes.
You start pushing the car a little too much, and that's when things go bad.
Yeah.
So 7 laps now complete of 26. Or I should say they're on lap 7. But it's still Mason Prater out front, holding Heidritter. Luke Knupp on board with Luke Knupp. You can see going to turn 2, the right-hander, right on the bumper of Heidritter.
Yeah, he landed
Heidritter's got such a fast line. Looking low. Oh!
I feel like that outside line just has a little bit more speed behind it if they hit it right.
I think you're right. Yeah, Heidritter hit that line just right. You can see, because I thought for a second Luke Canup was going to get him the way it looked from the end board.
I feel like you just get too much wheel spin coming in on the inside, and it just burns you out just a tad bit. Oh no! Luke Canup getting onto the radiator of High Rider there, and it's going to send him out to the outside.
He rode that bike, put it back down.
Man, he had such a good run on him too.
Wait, did I just see Cheramani charging back up?
No, Cheramani's
No.
sitting in 16th right now.
Never mind. It's somebody else. There's Luke Canup. There's Eberts. And that's who I was looking behind him in the green car. That's what threw me.
Someone that's been working his way up the field is Randy Merritt and Sean Heck.
Yeah, I was wondering where they are because they've been such front runners, and they've struggled the last couple races.
Yeah, they're a little spaced out, but I think once we hit that comp caution, they'll have a chance to kind of group back up behind these guys.
I think you need to leave their state of mind out of this. Oh, you're talking about distance. Wait for it.
You can't be making jokes like that, man. I'm flipping cameras right now.
Wait for it. That's kidding.
But look at this.
Mason Prater, High Rider, getting a lot of Luke Canup right in his rear view mirror.
Yeah, Luke able to catch up to him again after making that mistake of getting up on his radiator. Luckily, he had a CBR radiator and was able to, didn't take too much damage and still running nice and cool.
Yeah, those things are bulletproof. So Ebert, Heck, Merritt, Osborne in tow of the top three. Prater, High Rider, Canup. Comp caution is out. Time to re-rack, restack the field.
What an interesting first run, or I guess
Yes.
first half. That was a little bit of a mix-up. Charamonte having a bad run, and then getting himself up on the wall and rolling himself out of the race. And then Luke, who usually has a pretty dominating lead, making a couple of mistakes out on the track.
Yeah, looks at Cheramani, Burns, and Dewar both down laps there. Osborne, Merritt, Heck, Ebert. Still a chance there. Corbin Leverton, I can see him sitting in a little bit deep. Look at Drapkin. Just sitting in the back fighting his way from that EOL penalty.
Yeah, he's moved himself all the way up to 11th place right now.
Yeah, but man, after being the fast qualifier.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, it does. It's a little painful.
Well, he got stuck in the meat grinder. I would say the first lap, if you're anything behind 4th place.
Oh yeah.
you're hoping no one gets into you because it'll chew you up and spit you out like no other out there. It's tough.
Well, especially when these guys start racing and getting so close there, and as they head to turn 2, that really separates, the faster guys from the rest. It's all about line choice there.
Yeah.
You can see it's like grooved out there. You stay in that line. But I've seen like Luke Canup get like one wheel on the inside, one on the out, and looks really fast line for him. Where the guys that are going a little too deep into the turn, I think they're getting like a little too much friction, a little too much momentum killer there.
One thing
They're
I'd like to
scrubbing
see,
speed off.
I'd like to see some of the drivers do for the first lap, especially if you're sitting behind 3rd place, is instead of going for the fastest line, which that first turn wants to lift up your front tire, maybe shoot for a line that's a little flatter, so that if you do get bumped, your truck isn't already offset or loaded to kind of spring off and roll.
Which we've seen.
Which we've seen quite a bit, and especially if the person comes up on your tire and your tire rides up on them, it'll roll you over in an instant. So maybe that's something they need to kind of keep in mind. Instead of trying to run the fastest line and shove your nose in there, just try and keep the truck as flat as possible, so that instead of getting rolled, you kind of get pushed around, but you're still alive.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of other people have that idea too. So when that line gets filled, that's when the contact starts.
Oh yeah, it's tough. It's tough to find a spot. All right, here we go.
And away we go.
Looks like Braden's still trying to get his lap back. He's going for it.
He had the hammer down. So we are green, green, green. Raider Highrider coming up into turn number 1. And look at that, Sean Heckin Barrett trying to get that low line there. Just couldn't get that momentum. You know, if you're in the top 3, then you got to run that fast preferred line.
Yeah, and look at that. Luke Knupp running to the inside of Holden Highrider. Clean pass.
Very nice move. Look at this. Ebert now going for the maneuver. Ebert side by side.
Now you got to be careful because even though Ebert's trying to make a move on Highrider there, he's got Luke right in front of him, and if he upsets Highrider, that might send him into Luke. So you got to be very careful, when you're racing around your teammates like that and trying to move someone around on the track.
Oh, absolutely agreed.
But looks like he found his opening there. Out of turn 4, across the tabletop.
All right, nice move out of turn 2 over the leap. The right-hander.
Mason Prater still holding strong in the front. Luke Knupp trying to run him down, and Holden Highrider holding 3rd place. He's had 3 consecutive laps of trying to defend Ethan, or defend from Ethan trying to take that line away from him, and it's been hit and miss. I almost thought Ethan had him last lap.
Oh yeah, but look at Mason Prater's line. Just watching him there. Look at a couple of the guys have the exact same line coming off turn 1, but Prater's been so smooth, so fast. He really doesn't have anybody right on his bumper.
Yeah, he doesn't have to really worry about too much right now. A lot of the pressure is, between Luke, Holden, and Ethan. Prater.
And I think you're right. Luke is worried about Ethan right behind him, and also Holden.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he wants his teammate up there with him. That's definitely, that would be in my mind too. If I'm racing that close to my teammate, I'd want to give him a chance to get up there, and I'd probably do a little bit to help him get a position.
Hold it in between them. That's the problem there. You're right. See somebody riding around that fence there.
Yeah, hats off to Braden Charamani for doing the nice thing and staying up high and out of the way of all the drivers that are on the lead lap.
Yep. And a couple drivers losing their way out of turn number 2 or 3. I'm sorry. Across the stripe again they go. Prater. Luke has not found a solution for Mason, but Luke did figure how to get back towards the box. On board with Ebert. Out of turn 2, off the leap into turn number 3, the right-hander. Beautiful maneuver. Back up to our leader, Prater. As he looks back at Luke Knupp, trying to chase him down.
There we go, Dave. 5 laps left.
Oof.
Now's the time if you got anything left.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if there are any tricks left in anyone's bags right now, or how do you figure out how to make that guy make a mistake in front of you?
Yeah, I think Holden just tried to throw something out there, sent it a little bit deeper into Luke, hoping that he'd catch up to him. Same thing with Ethan, staying right behind him.
Well, Ethan could put it right on his rear bumper there. And look at this.
Yeah, like I said, there we go.
And look who's also going to try and follow Highrider up. It's Luke Knupp's teammate, Ethan Ebert.
That is correct.
And Luke able to get his position back.
Uh-oh.
Ebert looks low. Oh.
Yeah, I saw that entrance to that line. I was like, he's going to send it deep possibly. That's dangerous.
I think Luke is able to capitalize on that. Here comes Holden. once again to answer back side to side. Luke's going to have that low preferred line. Oh, little nose to tail action.
Did I see a little brake check there?
I believe that might have been a little bit of like, hey.
I think that was a little bit of a lift or a brake check from Luke. Because I think he tried to turn his car a little bit deeper into the corner, which that's what I would have done too. I would have hit the brakes or the e-brake just to rotate it enough to keep that preferred line. Because if he didn't do that, Holden would have drove the inside away from him.
Yeah, or he could have spun him around too. It could go bad either way.
Definitely.
I'm not going to say there are any winners on that one. Look at him just leaning on him, coming around. Holden really wants that second position back. Luke says, no, I fought hard for this.
Oh.
There it is again.
Over rotation.
There's a little bit of brake check there, too.
I think Luke's setup is not, the setup is not to Luke's liking and what he's used to towards the end of the race. I think that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, where his truck was always really faster in the race. This is looking really quick, though.
It is, but it's looking a lot looser than I think he's used to.
Yeah, likes a little bit more rigid setup.
Yeah, his lines are just setting it out just a tad bit. You can see him like setting it up, and then it just slides out to the outside.
And whoa, what just happened there? Did I just see that happen?
Yeah, it looks like Ethan also trying to get in there now.
Yeah, Luke back to fourth now.
Uh-oh, teammates getting into it.
Ethan's going to go way around. Actually, he made that actually come back around. Didn't think he was going to pull it off.
And I believe the white flag is going to come out now.
Oh, it is out.
There we go.
I just think he was sleeping in the tower. Communications are down between him and race control.
They got to do hand signs.
Look, Rick Fouts is telling him he's number one. So Prater looking to back up a win out of Crandon with a win here at Wild Horse Pass, also his backyard.
Look at that, back-to-back first and second, Mason Prater and Holden Heitreiter for Crandon and Wild Horse. What a run.
Luke definitely got the monkey off his back, though, getting back to the podium.
That was a tough run for Luke and Ethan. They had to work pretty hard to get up that
field. Oh,
field.
yeah. I think it was a tough one for everybody. But how about Ebert, Heck, Watson, Drapkin, Merritt, Brody Graham?
Yeah, Drapkin moved
Ricky
himself
Johnson,
all the way up to 7th from an EOL. Great run.
Yep. Oliver Golding, Keaton Swain.
And to point out, racing in the mid-pack, Drapkin's fastest lap was at 36.157. And, yeah, he's working his way up the field. It's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our top 10 finishers for tonight. First place going to Mason Prater, second to Holden Heitreiter, third to Luke Knupp, Ethan Ebert taking fourth, fifth to Sean Heck, sixth Elliott Watson, seventh Zach Drapkin, eighth Randy Merritt, ninth Brody Graham, and 10th going to Ricky Johnson.
I still don't know how they all moved to Australia and New Zealand.
Well, that's where we put all our computers. So we have them actually race out there, and then we fly them back. It's safer for health reasons and stuff like that. It's a drier climate.
I just prefer to see USA, 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 USA.
I would agree with you on that. Oh, looks like Race Control has reached out to us. They said, do not pull podium just yet. We will, they're reviewing some contact out on the track.
Well, that's what I was saying. I wasn't too sure.
Ooh. I wonder what contact they're reviewing. Do you think it's what I pointed out, or do you think it's something a little more serious?
Well, I think it might have been a few things.
That's true. That's true.
There's definitely some questionable ones earlier. Reese got the short end of the stick
Yes, he did.
on it.
Yeah, I
on
saw that.
one of those.
Yeah, same thing with Reese. And then I don't know if Brody was contact, but they locked up when he was coming down into out of that tabletop, which there's not much you can do because it's just a wall there. So you're gonna roll.
Things I wasn't too sure with Holden and Luke.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're looking at some of that stuff. And I really didn't quite see the whole thing, and we don't always see the angles. They have to look back and see all that stuff.
Well, that's
a job that I wouldn't want. I can speculate all day long.
Yeah, and honestly, to have to do it in one day, that's tough. I run my own league, and I literally reserve a day for reviewing races. I tell them, hey, it's going to be another day, so I'll have points and everything posted. You can protest everything later, but the race is over. Good night, guys. We'll talk about it later because it's tough. But these guys, they do a good job. They're on point, and they Connor and Bronson, they're reviewing the race right now, which is what you need to do. So for the money on the line and for what these guys are trying to do out here, I definitely like what they're doing out there.
I gotcha.
But let's talk about our sponsors. That run.
Yeah, we've got some great ones. You always got to thank CBR Performance. With all those awesome, radiators, standard coolers that they make.
Yeah.
Also AIM. What's that?
So we saw Holden's hold up there from taking a wheel to it.
Yeah, definitely. And, of course, AIM Data Systems. Always a great job. I want to thank Lawrence Equipment, Signature Propellers. I want to thank Rigid Industries, of course, Sparco, and I am missing somebody.
Super Clean.
It's just not clean. It's super clean. That's right.
Yep.
And what makes our vehicles breathe the best, and even our homes now?
K&N.
K&N.
Yep. I was about to fill that one in for you.
Yep.
But yeah, that is our sponsor list for tonight. And honestly, I appreciate everything our sponsors do for the series. It's awesome to be able to give these guys some of the best prizes in esports for iRacing. So there's a lot of official races where there's probably a little bit more money, but this is probably the largest paying out league that these guys get to do right now. So
it's the best league.
That's the best part. All right, we have approval for the podium. Let's pull these guys up.
What's the podium? Say it's the same?
Yep, he's gonna hold it.
All right. No pun on holding.
All right, let's go ahead and
wait for it.
Let's go ahead.
Let's pull Luke in.
Yes, let's get him in here.
Well, Luke, this was definitely a better result for you than Crandon, but not quite where you wanted to be, I know. This was a physical race for sure. You had your teammate back there, Holden Highrider, but you had to fight your way up to the podium.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That was definitely a brutal race from all 4 or 5 of us up front. And I think it's expected at this track. It's super tight and technical, and especially when it gets super blue groove like that, there's definitely going to be some roughing up, and we're pretty good about it. No one crashed, no one severely had any problems, which is very good. So I'm pretty happy with my outcome. I think I could have had second there, but just a racing deal with me and Holden, so good.
Yeah, we're wondering if, sometimes it looked like it was like the truck starting to over-rotate a little bit. I think it was from going to last season from your setup to a fixed setup. Has that affected you as we have basically trying to get at?
I wouldn't say it affects me, but it definitely closes the field up a lot, and it's good to see. I think there's all 6 of us up front just battling out the whole time, which is very good to see, and I think that's their idea with the fixed setup, and it definitely is working.
Oh yeah, I think everybody was on more of a level playing field, but I just noticed we were talking and saying your truck looks a little looser than we're used to seeing at the end of the race. So I didn't know if something was struggling a few times. It hit a little hiccup there. It's like, all right, but you gained your composure and went right back to going forward.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just I knew after qualifying second, I knew I had my work cut out for me because I was starting third, and instantly I think I fell back to fourth. Just didn't have the start I wanted, and then I was just playing catch up and got by Braden and Ethan there, and then was trying to get around Holden, made a mistake and went up on the bike. Thought my race was over there. It was gonna be 2
Saw
weeks.
that.
It was gonna be 2 weeks in a row, me on my roof, but but all good. I think, or I'm really happy with my result, third place. Definitely a good bounce back after last week.
Well, you definitely, you put an awesome race on. You entertained us for sure, and I know you got some people to thank.
Oh yeah, it's been a rough year for our team, but I think today's third, fourth, and fifth definitely helped. So definitely I want to thank my team, Velocity Esports, Sean and Ethan for being very supporting teammates, and Ultra Wheels for always backing me up, and Rigid Industries, Reliable Air Conditioning, Diamondback Materials, all the series sponsors. I can't name a bunch of them, but I know there's AIM, Sparko, not CDZ, Kicker, or not Kicker, K&N. The list goes on. Thank you guys for everything you do for iRacing Short Course.
Looking up everybody, third place. Congrats.
Congrats, man. Good job out there.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our second place finisher, the number 512, that's going to be Holden Heightrider. How you doing tonight, man?
Good. That race was definitely a challenging one. Had some battles the whole race.
You could say the least. That was an amazing race. I know the last couple laps, you're really trying to run down Luke there, and we noticed that Luke, I think Luke pulled the e-brake on that last turn, trying to rotate and pretty much throw a block down there, which seemed to have worked, but you definitely got the advantage on him the next couple laps around.
Yeah, he tried to block a little bit, but I just had a little bit faster. I was just a little bit faster, so glad I got around him cleanly and just tried to block him because he was coming towards the end because he really started pushing to get back around me.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to bring up, around, I think it was like lap 15, you were pretty much boxed in between Ethan and Luke. What was going through your head while you're trying to make those corners and not lose position to those guys?
Yeah, I was just trying to pass Luke, but then keep Ethan behind me at the same time. It was definitely hard.
I could definitely see that, man. Well, you had a really good race out there. You drove it really hard. You were able to get around Luke, who put up a great fight towards that last end. Do you have any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to thank AIM, PRP, Justice Brothers, Elite Esports, Signature Propellers, and CBR, and 92 Designs.
Awesome, man. And I know...
Good job, Holden.
Thank you.
I know you and your teammates probably super happy right now. So I'll go ahead and pull them in so you guys can talk a little bit while we're on the podium.
All right, thank you.
Well, we are Mason Prater. I'm going to have to give him a new nickname called El Fuego because he is on fire. Takes another win here for round number 2, coming off of Crandon, and now everybody always talked about this being Luke Knup's track. Well, it's your backyard too. Mason, I think you just put a stamp on this one.
Yeah, it was a really good race. I had a lot of fun. I had my teammate up there with me, so he was really helpful with the whole entire battling process and keeping me safe, and felt really comfortable with him behind me, and I just got a good start and got out front and then never looked back.
And what were your thoughts, though, when Luke Knupp moved into second there? Did you just kind of like try to put it out of your head and drive your lines, or was he still in the back of your mind?
Seeing him in my rearview mirror definitely changed up my driving a little bit. I drove a little more passive, knowing he's just a really, really fast driver. But I knew he was going to drive me clean, and then I knew he was fast. He was gaining on me little by little, so I just put my head down, and then I saw my teammate get right back around him, and then that gave me a little bit of a relief. But he was still fast, and seeing him behind me definitely gave me a little scare.
Yeah, of course, with Luke right behind him was Ethan. So when you had Luke in between you and Holden, and then they had Ethan back there, could have gone pretty bad for both teams, but seemed like it worked out. And of course, we saw Holden able to get around Luke and get that second spot again.
Yeah, going P1 and P2 with me and Holden 2 times in a row. It's really good. I'm loving it so far, going 2 for 2, and then Holden going 2 for 2 on second. We just have really good team chemistry, I feel like.
What happened to the third amigo?
There's a couple different third amigos. There's Darren. I don't think he could make it, and then
Well, the Darren was the one that was on the podium with you last week.
yeah, he got hurt last week, so he couldn't make the race today. And then me and
That's a
Braden had a little
bummer.
bit of contact, and I didn't mean to do it, and it must have shot him out wide and didn't really get to see it. So I feel bad about that, and I apologize to him, but I didn't mean to. But and I hope he understands. But it's racing.
Yeah, I was like, waiting to go. Could it be those 3 again on the podium? And Darren didn't make it, unfortunately. But to see you and Holden on, that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it was definitely a good race. I'm happy to be up there with him. He's fast. He's very clean, and just gives me some reassurance. And having Elite up there 1 and 2 again, that makes me happy.
Well, I know you got a whole bunch of people that help you and the sponsors.
Yeah, I want to thank Elite Esports. They're putting up races and practicing and always giving me pointers, and they just always push me to be my best. And then Bill Stein, Steal It, Lucas Oil, big shout out to General Tire and everybody else. Thank you.
Mason Prater, back to back. There we go, round 1 and 2.
Congratulations,
Can
man.
these guys keep going?
I think they can. It's going to be a fun one to watch as we go into Wild West next week. Or the following week. I take that back.
In 2 weeks.
You're right.
Because I will be gone at the Jet Ski World Finals.
Yeah, so we're going to have an off week next week, and then after that we're going to go to Wild West. So let's see what happens with these. We know Wild West is kind of Ethan's stomping ground. I know Luke does really well in Wild Horse. So we'll see if the switch up, brings him to the top of the podium, or if he's going to still have a hard run, because both Mason Prater and Holden Heitrider are working really hard to hold that first and second place right now.
Yeah, definitely. And, of course, Luke Knupp and Ethan Ebert and their team's going to be definitely coming from them. But a couple other drivers to keep an eye on going in there. Sean Heck and, of course, Randy Merritt.
Yep.
I know Ashton Perfect's done well in the past there. Seen him get in there. Mikey Lawrence. A couple people did make the main events. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. And Zach Drapkin, unfortunately, with that penalty, well, we know he can win at Reno.
Yeah, and I was about to say, we saw him finish the season off strong at that track, and since we're going back, that might be where he comes to dominate.
He might get redemption.
I believe he will. So with that being said, once again, thank you for everyone tuning in. If you have not liked or subscribed, go ahead and do that. I don't like to hound you guys about it during the race. We'll talk about it afterwards. But once again, shout out to my broadcast sponsors, Critical Hit Bachelors and Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. Dave Arnold, it's always a pleasure to have you in the booth, and thank you so much. It's a wealth of knowledge to learn from you and to work with you.
Well, thanks, Randall. It's been fun, and guess we're going to see the folks in 2 weeks on the virtual dirt.
Yes, we will. That being said, I hope everyone has a good night.